Alright, hello everybody. This week we are going to be doing our stained glass inspired paintings. As always, we will start off with our materials. We have a plate for mixing our paints, our acrylic paints. We have our primary colors, black and white, a Sharpie, and our paintbrushes. You will also need your bottle of liquid glue, but that's not until a little bit later. So we will get started with step number 1. So everyone should have their print or their copy of what they want to trace on their paper. This is going to be a little bit different for everybody. If you would like, you could have one of these, but this is the one that I picked for myself. There are a few extras of these, so just let me know if you would like those. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna line up our transparency paper with our image that we're gonna trace onto here. We're gonna take our Sharpies and we are just going to start tracing all of these lines that we see. And as you can see, it obviously writes right onto the transparency paper. So you will continue that process around your whole image until you are done with that. Alright, so next step is going to be going over your Sharpie marks with your black paint. You're going to need your very fine tipped paintbrush for this step, and what you're going to do is, again, just take your paint, put it in the, or paintbrush, put it in the paint, and then go over all those Sharpie lines that you created. If you don't do that, your Sharpie will look very strange under the paint. So we just need to start off with this base layer of black paint on all of the peacock. So please just get started with that. Take your time. You don't want super jagged lines. Try to get them as smooth as possible. And then once this step is done, we will go ahead and start filling in our spaces with color. And then next step is where our glue comes in as well. Alright, so you can see that the transparency is now fully outlined with our black paint, and again we just went over our Sharpie marks. You don't need to be adding anything more than that, just the Sharpie marks. You can see that I have some paint over off to the side over here, so try to scrape that off with your nail if you can, otherwise that will show through when we move on to our next step, which is adding color.